This is from at Keeping Up Gaming. Marching into that top 5 of CU podcast Q&A'ers. Yeah. Do you think that young people who become famous overnight thanks to social media are setting a bad example? What advice would you give them?
That's a broad question. I mean, not all of them are, but yes, some of them, absolutely. I mean, all you have to do is look at someone like Logan Paul and see that they set horrible fucking examples for people.
Well, just for behaving.
Yeah, just for behaving.
Yeah.
And their behavior. In terms of maybe like inadvertent bad examples, maybe setting a bad example without knowing it. Sure. I mean, not everyone can achieve that sort of immediate overnight success. Doesn't mean that someone shouldn't try to do what they want to do if they see other young people achieving that sort of success overnight. But, I mean, I don't know. This just kind of goes back to something that I've always said, and I think a lot of people say. Everyone would do well to do some time in a service industry. Everyone would do well to do some time behind a counter, waiting tables, bartending, prepping food, cooking, doing something where you have to be in the face of people and dealing with humans and realizing that everyone's human. It's a humbling experience. It's a humanizing experience. That's what I would say. If you get famous overnight and you get to the point where maybe you don't have to step out and do a job in the world like that, maybe...
we'll just say an honest, hard living.
Yeah, an honest, hard... I mean, that's not to say that this isn't jobs, but I'm just saying, like, go do some manual service industry labor. Go do it. And realize that you are maybe lucky enough to be able to walk away from that in 6 months, and you don't have to do that for a living, but just try it. Go out there and do it and see what it's like.
I think it's what's happening is that these kids are getting famous when they're like 17, 18, 19.
They get to bypass that.
They bypass the awful summer jobs we all have. I had bad blistering jobs working in the supermarket and at Suncoast, which is probably worse than the supermarket. Like, to do those jobs gives you an appreciation for what goes into. Yeah, like you said, you interface with people. You have to develop customer service. You have to be nice to people you don't want to be nice to. Like, you have to. That's your job. I was getting paid $5.15 an hour and getting spit upon.
Sure.
But that's how you learn how to act too.
Yeah,
it's a discipline. Really a discipline is what it develops.
I don't want them to like get out. I'm not saying go do it because I want you to be broken down or something like that. But like people need that social interaction. And not to get off into a weird tangent, but it's kind of the reason why I'm like I don't care for homeschooling. It's part of that growing up. You need that social. You need sure you can say there's other ways to get it, and I'm not gonna get into it that way. But my main basic point is that you need these certain social interactions to help yourself grow and learn.
So you're thinking that's besides being like on a basketball team or playing an instrument, you're saying this is part of that training where you should be schooling, having friends. You should work some sort of entry level job to learn how to do this stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't do any I didn't join a sports team or anything like that, but I did have a job when I was in high school. I did play in bands and stuff like that. Like you got, and I think the job thing is just really important. I think it's very important to be able to get out there and learn how to work with other people.
So then does it become no bad then to set this unrealistic expectation with children and teenagers where like, oh my God, YouTube is a claim to fame and here we go. And that I don't have to work something, that could be a part of it too, where not that kids are avoiding it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's up to the parents. The parents can say, this summer you're getting a job. That's what my dad told me. He said, this summer you're going to get a job.
Sure.
When I was like, between junior and senior year of high school, you're going to get a job this year. I'm like, okay. And I went to the supermarket, 5-10 minutes away. I borrowed my mom's car to go from work, or they picked me up. I didn't have my own car till I was in college. And I worked there. I worked 30 hours a week. That weird, almost full time when you're young. You don't realize how much you're working. You know what I mean? You don't realize it. Sometimes 35 hours I was working. They got right to the point where it was legal in New Jersey.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm working an 8-hour Saturday and Friday shift. Like I worked at least 1 or 2 days at a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday every weekend that summer. Mm-hmm. And not that you appreciate it. To me, it was a whole new learning experience. Like, this is a new world for me. Like, you're not used to it's a new set of people you're around, the people, your coworkers, and most of them are your same age, except for that weird guy who probably should have gotten out of it by now that ends up getting fired for stealing
His
something.
name's Lon. He's 38 years old. He brings you brownies every Sunday, and you're pretty sure they're full of poison, but everyone eats
Yes.
them. I mean, this is a real person
Yes.
I'm talking about.
But you learn there's different types of people, and then you learn how to talk to someone, and you're too scared to ask out the girl that uses the orange spray tan, but she's cute. You know, you go through these things.
Y'all getting high in the cooler. Yeah, I mean, all right. So, anyways,
You know, but yes. So, but setting a bad example, at the end of the day, though, if I have a child, well, there's like a 10% chance of that happening in the future. But if I have a child and I know that they're on social media looking at stuff, I will have to talk. It's up to the parents at the end of the day to know what the kids are looking at.
Right.
Who are you watching? You're watching Logan Paul. Oh, let me look at this. You are not watching that again. And you can cry about it, but 20 years from now, you're going to thank me for letting you watch that trash. And that's what I would say. There's things on computers and devices you can lock down sites and you can do all that. Parents, be fucking parents. This isn't me yelling clouds, but I fear for sometimes, you know, with kids getting away with everything. It's okay to say no to a child. That's past parenting advice. You can say no. They're not your friends. They're your kids. Sorry.